Okay, we got a beautiful fall day. We're out here. We're going to do some cutting now. Jason's got the mill fired up. Now all that stuff we didn't decide, everything we learned, everything we talked about, we're out here. We got a great log, 35 inches at one end, 27 inches at the other end, 12 feet log. So it doesn't really max the machine out on its length capacity, but we're pretty close to max on that 35 inch end there. And he's just going to turn it and get it where he wants it and start cutting. Fun stuff. Look at that. I mean, that's a big log, and this thing is turning it. I mean, that number 100 chain, that's a nice big log. Again, we're not quite maxing the machine out there, but that's certainly, you know, towards the top end and no problem. He's adjusted the set work, zeroing it out so it knows its position, the blade knows its position relative to the cutting deck, and from there it can measure those boards perfectly. So it's a zeroing operation that Jason just did. That's a nice, I mean, that is a wide cut right there. We've almost maxed out that cutting throat. Again, that is a cut that is impossible on my competitor's mill. They cannot make a cut that wide with that big throat there. So that's something to keep in mind, that you will never see that happen on a mill with that narrow cut throat. Yeah, they say they can cut that great big log, but the bottom line is they're gonna have to make a little tiny cut, turn, make a little tiny cut, and turn. Jason is using the blade clutch, which is so nice. Standard feature on our mill, no upcharge. Every TimberKing hydraulic mill has it. In fact, also our little 1220 mill has an electric clutch on it. All of our mills have a standard clutch. If it's available at all on my competition's mills, it's a significant upcharge, and it's nice to have. I mean, it's just a convenience thing to have, and that's why we put it on the mill standard. Again, the nice set works, he's just dropping that. He's pushing a button, and that set works is just dropping the blade the proper increment every time. And when we're done, we'll measure those boards, and you'll see how accurate that set works is and how easy it makes your cutting. There's nothing, I never get tired of watching this. There's nothing more fun. I mean, I've seen hundreds, maybe thousands of logs cut up over the years, and it's always cool. But the guys, Jason and all the guys in the shop, our delivery guys, everybody just so excited about this machine, and I mean, we're like kids in a candy store, and that's obviously how I feel about it too. And it's a great machine. We're really excited about it. It's so cool. One-man operation, real deal. A lot of times you'll have 2 people working, 3 people working, and things go that much faster. But again, we want to show what the mill will do with 1 person operating it to give you, you know, the real deal, the real story of what the mill will do, of the TimberKing advantage. You see Jason just use the swing command post. He's going over to the left just to get a better view of his cut. He can go back and forth. The great thing about the swing command post is you can get that wide view, but at the same time you still have the advantage of the direct action hydraulics. You know, you still have that extra control that comes from direct action hydraulics, the subtlety of control that you can get, whereas with electronic detents, you know, that hydraulic feature is either on or it's off. But with direct action hydraulics, you know, you have that subtlety and that range of motion, which is really important, especially like the turner chain. It's important to have it there. It's important to have it in your feed. So that's one of the great advantages of the swing command post is keeping that direct action hydraulics. It's another one of the TimberKing advantages. I want you to look, I want you to notice on these cuts how much room, extra room there is in that cut throat when he's cutting these boards. He's being careful. Guys, a lot of times guys ask, what if I, you know, is there anything to prevent me from hitting the log clamp or hitting the log stop? And the answer is no. So now Jason's starting to look closer to make sure he's got clearance. He's using his swing command post to go over there and make sure he's clearing everything properly. Again, while maintaining the advantage of the direct action hydraulics. The feed is hydraulic, which is really nice. The blade up and down that you're seeing, although it's controlled by the computer setworks, is operated hydraulically, which just means it's more dependable. It's simple, it's rugged, it's dependable, That's the TimberKing advantage, and now you're really seeing it now that we come outside. And Jason's just doing some measuring for us. Jason, did you do true 2x6s?
Yes, these are 2x6s.
Okay.
5.5 by 1.5.
Okay, so they're nominal 2x6s. Okay, cool, great.
And they're right on.
They're right on. He cut these at 1 5/8 by 5.5, which is sort of the standard measurement for a 2x6 that you would get at the lumber yard. So we'll measure these and see how they look. Here we go. Look at that, 1 5/8, if you can see. 1 5/8. 1 5/8. 1 5/8 on down. That's that Setworks that's just so on, knocking them dead every time. Look at this, if I can get it out. Measure across here. That's folks, that's a 28-inch slab, okay? That is impossible on my competitor's mill with a 24-inch throat. It could not be done. It's physically impossible. And you saw how easy and how much extra room we had on that mill. I mean, that's the TimberKing advantage right there. We got 33 1x6s here. We got 24 up here, 9 down there. About 40 minutes of cutting. It's about 300 board feet that we did in 40 minutes. Plus, we got all of this 1x material stuff that we can cut up. Plus, over there, Jason's gonna finish up a little later and do those 2x4s. That'll add some. So you got 300 board feet in 40 minutes. So I mean, you can see 400 board feet an hour is not an issue with this mill. And also keep in mind, you're talking a 12-foot cut that we did. So if you've got longer logs, actually you'd be able to get significantly more than that per hour. That's not a made-up number. That's not marketing or flash. That you saw it happen. You were here with me. We did it, or rather, Jason did most of the work. But I was working hard out there too. You saw it happen. That's real production with this real sawmill, and you saw the TimberKing advantage. You saw that part of the reason we were able to turn that and get that done so fast was because of that tall cutthroat. My competitor's mill, with 12 inches above the blade, you know, you would have been scraping the top right there. We were clearing this nicely and cutting these boards. It's the TimberKing advantage. I think you've seen it today. As I've said in this video, we are so excited about this mill. Our organization is excited about this mill. You should be too. It's the TimberKing advantage. Please give us a call and we'd love to talk to you about the 2000s.